Well, unfortunately, we started off this week on a red note. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It is Monday, October the 27th. Two trades today and lost on both trades on a day when the market just goes higher. The NASDAQ, as you can see, just a slow melt to the upside today. Definitely should have gotten in this morning and held. Didn't really have a good setup. I mean, there were setups here, but for what I'm looking for on a break and retest, simply didn't have the cleanest one. This one right here would have been an entry I could have taken. Didn't have the best, I don't know, there was just, I wasn't comfortable with it. I just simply was not comfortable with it this morning and didn't take that setup. Could have, that would have been a really nice trade, but I ended up taking a couple trades on the Dow Jones and lost on both of them, believe it or not. So this should be pretty short and sweet. The only trades I took was just on the 4 Apex accounts that I've been trading, so $100 loss, not a big deal. In the morning, we had this slow bleed lower, and if you look at it, the Russell kind of bled lower this morning and then went kind of sideways this afternoon, and the Dow Jones was just kind of in a sideways trend until late day, even though that the NASDAQ and the ES were in a grind higher mode. And so this would have been a setup right here. We had an EMA cross. We had a break and retest of this level right here. You know, we came down, tested it, pushed back higher. I was not comfortable with it. I've really noticed in the first half hour or so, there's a lot of reversals lately on the Russell and on the Dow Jones. And so I just decided to stay away. And then we started to get this meltdown. And we dipped through this again, pushed higher. Again, here we had an EMA cross. We had, again, retested this level, and I took the long. And got into that long. I was in that trade for quite a while, and I didn't like these wicks. I didn't like this at all. And I thought about just exiting the trade. I ended up moving my stop up. My initial stop was right here below this low, thinking, hey, you know, we're going to, have a move to the upside eventually because the NASDAQ was, slowly grinding higher. Well, I ended up moving my stop up to just below this low, like right here. You can see where I got stopped out, and ended up getting stopped out here. And then we had a retest of this level, and obviously here we have the EMA cross again. And then the first setup, we were below VWAP. And that's one of my A+ setup is that we are long. If I'm in a long trade, I want to be above VWAP. So I want to be above that. I want to have the EMA cross. I want to see that, and I want to have a break and retest of a key level. Well, I didn't have all 4 of those at that first trade, and so that's why I moved my stop, got out of that trade, and then we had this break and retest occurring where I had, after the stop out, so I went short, and that was just a complete incorrect move, and we just melted higher, and then we just simply ripped here in today. So just an unfortunate day. I was just wrong. I mean, that's all there is to it. Hindsight is 2020. Looking at it now, I mean, my thesis in the first trade was correct. Just, go long, and keep the stop down here and let it work. If I keep the stop here, I survive this, and we end up with a winning trade. Not a huge trade. I would not have gotten a big win. The Dow Jones did not move much today. So either way, there was not a lot of money to be made here today with the size I was trading, but I was just wrong. So anyway, that's it. I mean, that's the long and the short of it, no pun intended. So here's today, down 439, just a couple of trades, no big deal. I didn't do an update on Friday. I did have a small green day Friday, $147. I think I was up like 20 or 30 bucks across. Actually, we could go back here and look. Yeah, here's today. On Friday, I ended up with 16 to 20 bucks across the accounts I was trading. And the good note last week, I did end up green on all the accounts I was trading. So we did have a green week last week, which was really nice. And then obviously starting today off on a small red note, so not a big deal. But good week last week, and I just hope to follow suit this week for the rest of the week, even though today ended up being a little bit of a red day. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else to cover to talk about. That's just the way the ball bounced today, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. And again, one of the things I wasn't that keen on trading the Dow or the NASDAQ today or the ES because we're in all-time high area, and I don't do well. I know I don't do well trading all-time highs. Tomorrow we'll have some levels to work off. I mean, you've got a level right here that I can see pretty clearly. You've gotten a previous high, turn that into a new low. I mean, that could have been an entry as well. I mean, there you have a VWAP cross or an EMA cross. I mean, I could have taken that. I did look at that. I noticed it. I was just not comfortable with it today, and so I stayed away. So I would rather just have a very small red day and maybe miss an opportunity rather than getting into a gambling-esque trade and then end up with a pretty bad red day. But in any case, it is what it is. Kind of melted higher, and we'll see. Maybe we'll have some levels tomorrow, and we'll get a pullback, and we can find something to trade off of. So, last but not least, let's not forget the Apex sale is ending tomorrow. So tomorrow night at midnight, that 80% off Apex sale is ending. So just keep that in mind if you're trading with Apex. Don't miss that. Use someone's code. I appreciate it if you use code BCT, but nevertheless, just keeping that in front of you. So once again, just appreciate you guys. Thanks for following along. Thanks for the support, and I hope you guys had a good day today. And we'll be back at it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have an update tomorrow. In fact, I probably won't have an update tomorrow. I'm only going to be able to trade part of the day tomorrow. So, but sometime later this week, I'll probably have another update. So until next time, take care and so long.